Yo, it's Real 92.3, Bootleg Kev, DJ Head.
West Coast.
Special guest in the building, good friend of mine, man. He's got a crazy project out right now. Always consistent with the music. My boy Boss is here. What's up, bro?
Chilling, bro. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Welcome,
of course.
goddammit.
Yeah,
Yo,
man.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate y'all.
It's been, what, a couple years since Too High to Riot?
Yeah, like 2 and change.
And I felt like that album was like top 5 album of the year. Was it 2015 or 16? 2016, and I feel like it was like kind of like slept on.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, and your visuals are slept. I feel like everything about you is slept on. Fuck, man.
Yeah. You
Like
know,
you're always consistent. Like the output is always like a certain level of quality. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know, I think the consistency is changing that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a show and prove world. You know, every time we come out the gate, it's you know, my base is so loyal and strong. Like, you know, like if you rock with me, if you know, then you really, really rock with me, you know, and you know, luckily
The Fiends are strong.
they're strong, and we just keep giving them, you know, something to rep. And you know, this album especially, I've been seeing, you know, a lot of good convo.
Yeah, and you know it's dope too. Like, you know, shout out to is it JID or JID? I've heard
It's JID, but I mean, we call him JID. It's
yeah,
same.
okay. I don't want, you know, I thought it was JID, and then I was saying JID, and someone's like, no, it's not JID, and I heard other people say JID.
Only his friends call him Jid.
But it's dope to see because I feel like Cole's been like quietly building like just a great roster of MCs between yourself, Kaz, obviously Ari Lennox is incredible. She's a great singer, and JID, who's, you know, got that freshman look. Like you've obviously been with the shit from the jump. You know what I'm saying? Talk about like just the progression of Dreamville as like a label, like, you know?
Yeah, man. I think it's dope because like, you know, every piece has just made us like more of a conversation. It keeps putting us, you know, every follow up, every next project is, you know, the same quality you just spoke about on my projects. I feel like that's like label wide. You know what I mean? Everybody's coming with something new, something different. You know, we all have the creative freedom at Dreamville to kind of express and explore how we want, which I think is kind of key to what we're getting now. So man, I'm excited, man. Jid about to drop soon. So's Ari. Earth Gang is dropping.
Oh, I forgot about Earth Gang, by the way. Fucking incredible group.
Incredible,
They're so fire.
Facts. So,
I've seen them open on a few tours. They're dope live too.
Oh yeah, they're incredible.
Their live show's nuts.
They're incredible live.
Before you dropped the project, I caught up with you in Japan.
Yeah.
What the fuck was you doing in Japan? 'Cause it was no shows going on like that. Like, what the fuck was you doing
Was you out there
there?
on some creep shit?
I was rocking with my dog Ali. Shout out to Mix by Ali.
That's
you know, he did my album. He had the gig. You know, he knows I'm always out there. I'm always in Tokyo.
But it's like we booked the show though, and then he was like, "Oh, Boss out here too." I'm like, "What is he doing here?"
Nah, I had just gotten back from doing a festival run in Europe.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, "Yo, I'm doing this gig in Tokyo. Come rock with me." So I was like,
Fuck it.
Yeah,
That's
why
an
not?
excuse to go to Tokyo.
"Yeah, that was it. We had a good time."
Yeah.
We had a good time. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Shout out to Japan.
Boss, you don't strike me as the kind of guy to like partake in the scummy shit, but do you partake in the scummy shit?
Oh,
We had a good time.
We had a good time. You know.
I've never paid for sex in a foreign country. Let me ask you that question.
Nah, I don't pay for sex. Nah,
I mean,
don't pay,
I feel like certain places it's kind of like, it's like, you know, going and seeing Paris. Like you go to the Eiffel Tower. If you go to Amsterdam, you go get a blowjob. I don't know. You go to the weed cafe,
man.
and you know, you maybe go get a reach around for
You know,
$55.
I guess we travel on this rap life, so
It's a little different.
Yeah, it's
you
a
gotta
little
like,
different.
you know,
get a lot of free buns.
free buns. That is true. You guys probably got
Free
tons
buns.
of buns.
Free buns.
And I will say you connected, very well connected too.
Oh yeah. You know, I try to get with the program when I get into town. You know, check in with the right people.
Yeah, we was moving right.
Yeah,
You guys
was
moving with
moving-
the fucking like the triad or some shit out there?
we was moving with some real ones.
That's lit. Who do you got production on the project?
So Cole co-produced on like 8 or 9 records.
Dope.
And then it's Sango Beach. Shout out to Sango. He did a joint with me and Ferg, Boca Raton.
That's that shit.
Yeah, my homie Jay Kurzweil, Ron Gilmore, obviously, who's been part of everything I've done. Said Brown, who's been part of all my projects. K Quig, Tech Beats. It's we do a lot of like Ableton Link sessions.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. So I'll just have a bunch of the homies come over and we'll just camp out and everyone will be linked up, and it's just a fun way to work, man. I like the collaborative process a lot.
How involved does Cole have to be in the production? Because I heard he's kind of very meticulous.
With this it was cool because I had all the songs done, and I went down to Carolina to link with him. And at the time, I'm like, I be studying the game. I be like trying to continuously put my own spin on things, but also make certain sonics like undeniable. So I went down there and I had this thought. I'm like, man, my music's always been like musical, but I just felt like I could step it up on the drums. I had like a progression to make there from the last album to this one. So I'm sitting down talking to Cole. I'm like, I'm expressing that to him. I'm like, I'm thinking of maybe going down to Atlanta and just getting some hard ass drums, like taking all these songs I got and just switching some drums out. And at the time, he was working on KOD.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, so he had the drums.
So he was like, yo, honestly, he was like, I've been, studying all that stuff too. Let me take a shot at it. So we sat there and like, maybe in 2 days in Carolina, we flipped like 8 of the drums.
Wow.
With Tribe being one of them. Like, I already had the hook and my verse. I wasn't even at the time, I wasn't really considering it for the album. But he was like, trust me, let me rock with these drums. I'm going to give it a different bounce, and you're going to love it. So I was like, all right, let's try it.
I do feel like Cole, I feel like a lot of like new J. Cole fans, even like fans from the last 3 or 4 years, don't realize like he's like a really great producer.
Yeah.
Like he produced fucking High Power. You know what I'm saying? Like, like Cole's incredible. Yeah, and he doesn't produce for a lot of, like, I feel like earlier on he was doing a lot of stuff outside of his own shit. Like he was like doing shit for Big Crit and Kendrick and shit. Do you feel like like when you make the album, does it not feel complete until Cole puts his hands on it? You know what I mean?
Nah, because like my last 2 albums, he didn't produce anything on them.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just dope that with this one, well, Sanufa he did completely himself. That's like it's like a South African house record that he went out to Joburg and came back and he was like inspired. He was on that vibe.
He was on the vibe.
I'm like, yo, let me get that one. But the rest of them were pretty much songs that were done, and it was just the post production aspect. That's something I learned a lot with this project. Just really taking the time, leaving no stone unturned. Like, especially nowadays, like people are conditioned to hear things a certain way. Like trap drums are so popular.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like adding some hi-hats and switching the snare there and throwing an 808 is going to make the difference between some kid hearing it and
a certain way.
Yeah, connecting or not connecting.
Resonating.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like the mission. So luckily, Cole was mid KOD.
That's
so
dope.
It was a perfect.
Yeah,
he was in that zone. Yeah, he's like it literally took like 2 days.
On the album, the album, you say that you're working on giving New York a new sound.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you feel about New York currently? Because right now, obviously, it's Cardi B and Tekashi, and
right.
I mean, that's kind of essentially where New York is on the mainstream level.
Yeah, I think it's been a while since New York has really like contributed like a refreshing sound. You know what I mean? I think in a lot of ways, and everybody you named is dope. Like Cardi, I rock with Tekashi, I rock with ASAP. There's a lot of great movements coming out of the city. I just feel like my sound is kind of international, which is a New York story in itself. I don't know if that perspective of New York has really ever been given like on the rap scene. Just the demographic of New York is so diverse. And, right, exactly. So I think it's a new New York sound for me. It has some African elements. We have such a large part of the diaspora in New York. It's got some European influence, like housey records or electronic records, and then it's got some barred up like New York joints
for sure.
So that's just kind of my spin on it, trying to tell my New York story and hopefully, inspire kids in the city that listen to me to, take a more open ear approach when they create their own music.
100%.
Do you feel like sounds and styles have to be gender specific, like going forward? Because I know like in the past it was like, oh, that sounds like a West Coast track. Oh, that sound like, but like you said, your shit is more international. Do you feel like it should go back to you can hear where somebody's from, or you feel like it should just be?
Nah, I think you should. If you do what you do well enough, then they're gonna associate where you're from with it.
Also, I feel like the internet kind of broke a lot of those.
Exactly.
A lot of
Nowadays,
that down.
it's like, I went to Nigeria with Cole in April, and I went out and I did Housewives. He just brought me out on his set to do a couple of records, and it was like thousands of Nigerians going bar for bar with me.
Dope.
And I was like, damn, I was ignorant to that fan base that's there, and then I, you sit there and you think about it, it's like it's just the internet, like everybody's on the same thing, everybody's streaming off the same playlist.
Yeah,
everybody's
I mean, it's all direct to consumer. There's no
Right.
Before it was like, yo, I got these joints from the record store because this is what's popping in New York. You know what I mean? Like this is the only shit. Or it was the radio. It's like, what's getting played on the radio in your city.
Right.
Outside of that, you don't know. You got to open up that Source magazine and then go to the warehouse and take a chance on a fucking album.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't preview it before. You know what I mean? Like,
Now if they rock with you, they're gonna be like, all right, where's this dude from?
100%. Talk about the Boca Raton record, working with Ferg, and have you ever fucking been to Boca Raton? Because I've actually been there.
No, I've never been to Boca Raton.
You're not missing much.
They're gonna be mad at me
Unless you're like an old, unless you're like a Trump voter that wants to retire and die.
Yeah, no, I know.
Wow.
It's a lot of New Yorkers retire to Boca Raton.
Of course.
And
Florida's like fucking New York. Like if you're like 50, and it's just a bunch of 50 and older New York people, and then
Yeah. It just, it just sounded like a place to me. It's always sounded like a place to me where like people, people's problems ain't really like they live in like comfortably, It's like the golden years.
It's
like,
the golden years.
Yeah,
it's where Seinfeld's parents, I think, lived.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, right.
You're right. So that that record it really deals about like a conflict and relationship, and I was just trying to think of a place where like you wouldn't be dealing with no conflict. And I was like, you know what? It seems like a safe bet.
Yeah, I like it. And the video, the concept was like with the postcards and shit. It was all green screen, right?
Yeah, it was. We shot that in Brooklyn, so I really never been there. I thought maybe we'd go for the video, but the treatment came in, and then we shot it in Brooklyn.
Yo, what are you listening to? Like in your playlist, like if we opened up your Spotify, what would be the most played shit in your Spotify?
Like of all time, or just right now?
Just right now, like let's say 2018.
2018. I've been working on this album so long, it's hard, but definitely since I wrapped it up, I've been able to get into more stuff. Obviously I rock with KOD. Shout out to the home team.
Obviously.
I like Astro World. I was just telling homies I rock with the Mac Miller Project.
Mac Miller Project is fire.
Yeah.
Buddy's album is dope too. Shout out to Buddy.
Yeah, I heard a few joints I really rock with him, but he rock with my Everyday People family, so they've been putting me on. I gotta get into more, honestly. I just when you're working on something, you just be so locked in. I'm like free now.
That's
I feel
dope.
like
As somebody that considered like an MC and y'all got a crazy roster, do you feel like do you feel like you're responsible to actually say something in your like messaging in your raps? Do you feel responsibility like?
I feel like I have to give an honest honestly, I just have to be me, like there's times where I'm not responsible. But if I can honestly convey that to you, then it's cool. I'm not gonna front and be less responsible than I am for any reason. But there's times where I'm getting washed and doing all the things I shouldn't be doing.
Right.
And you hear that on the record. But then there's a lot of times where I'm maturing and growing and learning. And I got to put that in the record too.
I felt like ATM was one of those type of records where it was just like that's his version of doing that.
That whole album is his version of doing that.
Yeah.
That whole album is literally like, yo, kids, stop fucking taking opiates or you're gonna fucking die. Please. Like,
he did that. He did that well though. I felt like
it was the most like right now the most needed conscious shit you could do. I think. Like
it's like it's not gonna go over their heads. It's going back to like the sonic elements.
100%.
The drums, the cadences, the flows. It's all
like keeps them like along for the ride for the message.
And then you sit there and you hear the message and you're like, oh, and it don't sound corny.
I was just having a discussion. Like I think J. Cole is like now to the point. Same thing with Kendrick. Like where it's like knocking on like undeniably like top 10 of all time. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
consistency.
It's definitely consistency, and I just feel like we're in the moment, so we're not talking about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
Do you feel like that about Cole? Like, cause I feel like there's like when you look at like the top MCs of all time, I'm like, man, like it's gonna be not much longer before you got to put him in the top 10, like easily.
Yeah, I think you also got to look at, how people do it, and then the kind of support they get. Like, if you
And he's got a classic album under his belt,
Right.
with Forest Hills Drive, and
Right.
KOD. Obviously time will tell, but I feel like he's got that one undeniable classic that you kind of need to be in that convo.
right, and it's like he did it very much his way. You know what I mean? Cole, like I know Cole, he's like very headstrong about what he's trying to do, and even more importantly, how he's trying to do it. I think he set himself up for that. To be remembered in that way.
Tour coming soon.
Tour coming in the fall through the early winter.
Are you headlining or are you going out with somebody bigger?
No, I'm headlining.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are you taking out with you? Can you tell us yet?
I'm honestly not sure. We just had a meeting about it. I'm trying to. I don't know. Who
Trying
you
to figure that
want
out.
to see me out with?
Yeah, Buddy would be dope.
Buddy would be dope.
I think that would kind of fit the
West
vibe.
Coast.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's something to talk about. We've been trying to
That's
figure
not a
it
bad
out.
idea.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea at all.
Kirk Knight's dope. Shout out to Pro Era.
Yeah.
There's some guys.
Yeah. There's some guys. You're right.
There's some
You're
guys,
right.
man.
Who was that? So who was mentioned? Who was brought up in the meeting that you guys had?
Nah, we just had a talk that last time I went out with a
Yeah, he
with
can't.
a bunch of dreams.
You know what I'm
He's not
saying?
gonna tell us that.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I mean, I'll tell you the gist of it. We didn't really have nobody pinned down, but my last tour, I went out with a bunch of Dreamville homies, which is love. It was like the first tour where it was Dreamville people out and no Cole, but we wanted to this time like just reach out and get somebody outside the crew, which is why the guys you mentioned are actually like really really viable for that because it's they're bringing their own.
Okay, so what's up with this? Let's cut to the shit for all these Dreamville fans, including Nico, our producer, who's he's a weird Dreamville fan. God bless him. But what's up with the fall off shit? When is Cole got some shit?
Man, I don't know. You know that boy stayed close to the chest. That could drop.
I mean, he put the
tomorrow, I wouldn't even
freestyle
know.
out, and in the description it was like,
Yeah. Cole is, he's on his.
have you heard a lot of unreleased Cole shit that he's just sitting on?
Not really, honestly.
How about this? The album between him and Kendrick that we all know that there's songs that exist because they both acknowledged. Have you heard any of those songs?
Like years ago.
Are they fire?
Years ago.
I mean,
Are they trash?
It'd be pretty hard for them two to do records
and
that
they not be fucking
and they not
crack.
be fire. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know where that's at either. I think they might have got too big.
Both of them.
Real quick, just want to know, because I respect your pen. Have you ever wrote a verse and then got a feature or something and then rewrote your shit based on the fact that you got washed?
No, I haven't. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's almost a sneak move.
Right.
You know what
It's
I mean?
kind of that's the whole
It's a
LL
sneak
cannabis thing.
Yeah, I don't know if
So you would you ever consider doing that? Like if you did your verse, you got the verse back, and it's like, damn. Like, would you just let it ride, or would you?
Kind of gotta let it ride.
You gotta let it ride, yeah, man. I mean, I tell you something though, like I'm, for better or worse, my ego doesn't get that deflated from shit like that.
Right.
Can I say that? My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Say whatever the fuck you want,
All right,
bro.
cool, yeah. Because I really approach records. A lot of people I work with will tell me this too. Like, I really approach them like a producer in a sense, So like, if I'm rapping in like a single time flow and I put somebody on record and they come in double time and it sounds like crazy, it's like I want that because you're making the song more dynamic. If I'm bringing in someone else, I want them to spaz. You know what I mean? Like there's a part of me that thinks like a producer at all times.
You just want the record to be the best.
I want the record to be as fire as it can be. I'm not worried about because I know at the end of the day I know my contribution to creating the record. But I've heard of things like that happen.
Oh no, I've been there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
And it's like I can't knock it though because then I get it. Like in the spirit of competition, I can't knock you if that's how you feel. You know what I mean?
I wonder. I don't think Big Sean went back in when Kendrick got on Control.
Hell no, he didn't. Obviously, he didn't.
Nah, I'm just saying. Like,
What you mean?
Big Sean's verse wasn't bad on
Yeah,
Control.
I
didn't say it was
super,
bad. I
super
was-
slept on verse.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying I would have probably went back in.
We talked.
I'm not finna.
We talked about the Kendrick and Cole project. If you could like collab with like within reason, like somebody you're close with
What
for
do
a
you mean
full
within
project.
reason?
I mean, like he could say Jay-Z, but I mean, like
You saying Boz can't get a whole
I mean,
verse?
I don't know who the fuck. A lot
Oh,
of
what's
people,
up, man? I need it.
I mean, you know, I mean, like Kendrick and Cole are friends, so
Right.
that's why they started making
right.
music together. Who's
All right,
somebody
within
who?
reason.
Who's somebody who you would want to do a project with? Who you have chemistry with?
Are we just talking strictly hip hop?
It doesn't have to be hip hop.
Because I'm actually working on a project with this band, the Hicks, that were on Too High to Write. They're like a kind of soul electronic.
So that's already in the works.
That's already in the works. That's like a dream project for me because I want to work with people that are gonna inspire me to go a different direction.
That's dope, man.
And then like if I was reaching like maybe like Pharrell or like Nerd,
Oh, that'd be hard.
I'd love to do something with them just because their sound is so like eclectic.
100%. Well,
I can
Boz,
see that. That'd be dope.
the album is out. Everybody should go support it. Go stream it.
I actually
Way,
like the album.
Dreamville.
I mean, I know I told you that, but
Yeah.
you know,
That's not just because we kicked it in Tokyo. Right?
nah. I would tell you that if it was trash, I would tell you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Well, in my opinion, humble opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
album is dope.
it's
Milky
dope.
Way. The singles Tribe, right? Is that what we're working? Tribe? Okay.
Tribe featuring
Let's get into
J.
it.
Cole.
Yo, let's introduce it, man. Do it
Yo,
for LA.
It's your boy Boz, man. It's my new single, Tribe, featuring J. Cole off that Milky Way. It's Dreamville. Let's get it.
Come on, Surreal 92.3.
Fellas.
Yeah, we'll play that shit tonight.